Good morning. We are Oelia, and we have this beautiful lady here with us today. So, what would you like to talk about?
Oh, good morning, Oelia. Well, my first question is that I tend to run late, and I really grew up not liking that because my father ran late, and I don't understand why I continually have this problem. So, can you help me with that?
All right. Certainly. Just one moment. So, what happens when one grows up in a family where there are certain patterns, and those patterns get what you call subconsciously integrated into the thought processes or the rationalizations or the identifications with those people or a particular person. And so when there is a characteristic that a child growing up in a family doesn't like or doesn't appreciate or has some pretty strong opinions or not so strong opinions about it, usually there's two ways that they go. They go one way or the other. They either go to great lengths to make sure that they don't be that, but that is in a response or a resistance to the actualization of that experience. So they continue to have the resistance and the judgment about it, but it becomes about themselves instead of about the person that they learned it for. Or they will develop that characteristic themselves and have one of two different, usually, interpretations of that. And one is, oh, well, that's just the way it is, that's just the way I am, that's just the way my daddy was, that's just the way it is, and too bad if you don't like it. And the other response, if you have taken that on, have manifested that in your own life, would be to beat yourself up a lot. Mm-hmm. You see? So there's some variations of how any particular individual in their growing up years will duplicate the patterns that become subconsciously anchored based on their own interpretation and reaction to it. So for you, what you're talking about is there was an identification with your daddy. You
Yes.
called it daddy, right?
Yes.
Okay, Papa. There's an identification with your Papa at such a level that felt really, really good to you. And
Yes.
while you didn't particularly like the fact, because it embarrassed you, that's what it feels like, okay?
Yes.
As a child, particularly as a teenager, it embarrassed you. The connection that you had with your daddy, by your manifesting that characteristic, it's almost as if it is part of the link of connection, of love, of whatever sense of feeling that you had in relation to him. It could have been security, it could have been all manner of different things, okay, you see? So that it's a link to that emotion, to that feeling, to that association. Well, does that make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely.
And so by your manifesting it, it's almost as if you still have him with you. Sort of odd twist of the way things manifest for
Yes.
people. So we're talking mainly about you, but this would apply to many people. Many people who don't understand why they can't break their habit of being like their parent that they just really didn't like. You'll see.
Yes.
So there are several, and any one particular person that might ask that question would get a little bit different answer because of their subconscious, unconscious, emotional connection with that person that they're not quite aware of yet.
Wow.
So, you understand?
I do understand. That makes perfect sense.
All right.
Yes, we were very close, even though I didn't like that, and I could see that. And I definitely fall in the beating myself up category, you know.
Good. So you just good.
So I love the idea of my daddy still being with me, even though he passed on many years ago.
Is.
So how do I reconcile that in my psyche so that I can change it and still feel secure or whatever he gives me in my life?
All right. So you focus on the connection that feels or felt really, really good. So you can have this smile inside your heart when you think of him. You see?
Yes.
And you may or may not know this, but when you do that, and when anyone can do that with someone who has passed over to the spirit world, it can have that sense of connection that brings a smile inside your heart. It is actually like a bell that gets rung in the other realm, and they come running because you rang their doorbell, so to speak. So they open the door and go, there she is. And so it enhances even more the smile in your heart, the feeling of connection, the feeling of love, and all those wonderful and sweet things inside, you see.
Yes.
So you focus on that. And you have this conversation with your mind, your unconscious, your subconscious mind, that little thing that rattles on and on and on, that likes to beat you on the head, you'll see.
Yes.
That voice right there, that one. And so you begin in the process to have conversations with it of, we're going to connect it with your papa because it will help you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like that feeling of having my daddy around so much that I am choosing, as often as I must choose, to reconfigure my subconscious, unconscious pattern of being late, because that reminds me of something I did not like about him.
Oh. Okay.
You see?
That feels great.
Good.
Because I don't want to be reminded of negative things.
Right. That's right.
Oh.
Okay.
Got it. Yes.
In the dialogue with your little mind that has been in doing all of this programming, is sort of all convoluted together. In the dialoguing of it, you talk to it just like you would talk to a child. Because that's the part of you. Just like you would a child. You know, things are different now. And what we want to do is to feel really, really good about Daddy.
Yes.
And we don't want to remember all that other stuff. And so we live in a time now when the past can just simply be washed away. It can just simply disappear. And that's what we're going to do. So every time you bring up this, whatever subconscious chain of thoughts and events or movements that get that started, that where I end up being late and feeling bad about it and beating myself up and reminding me of something I don't want to remember about my daddy.
Yes.
Okay. As quickly as you can notice, oh, I'm letting this get in the way. Oh, I think I have to do this first. Oh, I can't. Oh. So you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
All right. The moment you can identify what that's going to do, is going to take me to this place where I'm going to feel bad because I'm going to be late, and I don't want to feel that way about my daddy. So we're stopping right here.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Right here at this point that you recognize it's going to take you down a trail to where you really don't want to go.
Right.
Okay?
Correct.
You understand?
Yes,
you can do that?
I do. I do understand that. Because it's just like you said, oh, I'll do one more thing. Oh, I'll do one more thing. It's a pattern. And then I don't have enough time to get there on time, and I'm frustrated, so I can stop that beginning point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand.
And it will be trial and effort, and you'll catch yourself somewhere along the trail, here and there. And don't feel bad about that. If you've already gone a couple of steps down the trail, just say, oh, oops. Okay, now I've caught myself. So I'm stopping what I'm doing, and I'm going to make sure that I get where I said I was going to be at the time I said I was going to be there.
Yes.
Because I like feeling good about my daddy.
Oh, I love that.
You see?
Yes.
Okay.
I
so
see.
So we're helping you to re-anchor and create new neural pathways in your brain, and then in the programming in your mind.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
That's a great question.
Good. Thank you.
Yes, we're so
Great
delighted
answer.
with the answer. Yes, indeed.
Oh, I am delighted. I never thought of it linking to my father, other than I didn't understand why I would always be late when I didn't like that. Now I do.
Good.
It's like, yes, I want him with me, and I'm choosing to do it in all positive thoughts.
Good.
And
Good.
take out the lateness.
Very good.
Thank you.
You indeed. Thank you so very much.